Believe it or not, the Earth is actually flat. Yes, the world we live in right now is flat. Yes, I'm serious. The sun and moon are around the same size. And stars are a lot smaller than the sun. They're really not different suns. They're really a lot smaller than the sun. And the Earth is truly flat, and we've been lied to it about it being round by secret societies and the government. And all these pictures they show us of our space are really fake computer-generated images. And they're not really real. And our space does not exist. What is the sky if our space doesn't exist? According to ancient belief, it was heavens. There's more than one heavenly realm above the earth, and they were believed to be inhabited by spiritual beings, like the ancients taught. And the earth is really flat. People used to believe it was flat, and they were right, because it looks flat. There's also a lot more proof, and I'm going to prove it to you. Moon landings are all faked and filmed in some stage. They're all hoaxes, and all these pictures of our spaces too. Not really real. And here's a picture of the lunar lander landing on the moon, the very first one. But who's taking the picture of this? It's taken from the moon. If Neil Armstrong was the first man to set foot on the moon, then who's filming this? It's because it's fake. Somebody faked it. Who took this picture if he was the first man to land on the moon? It's because it's fake. It was filmed in some kind of stage. You can even find this picture on NASA's website. And here's another picture of Neil Armstrong getting out of his ship. But who filmed this if he was the first man on the moon? Or who took this picture? Also, if you zoom into a moon rock in the moon landing, you can see the letter C, like they marked it for a prop in a stage, because this is fake. They claim they do their underwater missions, the astronauts, so that they can practice for being in space. Before they go there, they go underwater. They claim it's because they practice for going to space. But is that what they're really doing? Because some of their space mission pictures look very similar to the so-called underwater practices, like this one. Looks very similar. So I think they're just editing the underwater practices and making them look like space videos. Here's another one. And also, if they really wanted to go to the moon, how come they launched their rocket during the day? Wouldn't they want to launch their rocket at night because the moon's on the night side of the world? So why did they launch it during the day? How could they get to the moon when they fly up and all of a sudden they're on the night side of the world? Here's two pictures allegedly taken from the moon in different locations, but they appear to have the same background. It's because they're fake and they were filmed in a stage. And the moon landing's a hoax. And here, the lunar module looks like it's made out of curtain rods and foil tape of some kind if you zoom in. And it looks all foily, like it's fake. Like this looks like tin foil of some kind. Or aluminum foil, golden. This is all fake. Also, what are planets on a flat Earth? All these lights in the sky that appear to be planets. They're not really different worlds like what we have been taught. According to ancient mythologies and religions, planets are living beings or spiritual beings. They also believed that stars were spiritual beings. So planets are not what they say they are. They're really spiritual beings. Okay, if planets were what they say they are, how come you can see Venus and Mercury during the night? I thought they were on the day side of the world, like what they claim it is. If they're on the day side of the Earth, How come you can see them at night? It's because the Earth is flat and they're really spiritual beings. The Aurora Borealis is a gas phenomenon that occurs up in the north. Well, it's not really caused by gas, like what they say it is, or by particles mixing together. It's really caused by something else, but they claim to have pictures of this from outer space. They say these are real pictures. But if this was true, how come you don't see it on Google Earth? How could something that big just disappear from Google Earth, all this big light in the atmosphere? How come it's not on Google Earth? I don't see it on Google Earth. It's because it's fake. Google Earth's fake. Google Earth's more of just a bunch of pictures taken from planes high up and edited together. And also this one from far away is fake. Now, if you use Google Earth, you can see clouds from the high up image part. How come if you zoom in, the clouds all of a sudden seem to just vanish? Huh? That doesn't make very much sense. It's because it's fake, that's why clouds disappear. How could you see them from space but not see them when you zoom in? Also, if you keep zooming into Google Earth, it looks flat once you get to the bottom. But they claim from a certain height, the Earth should look round. On Google Earth, if you keep zooming in, it looks flat. Also, these clouds just seem to appear out of nowhere. And you aren't able to see the clouds when you zoom in, but when you're far away, they appear. Doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is if this was fake. And it is fake. Okay, now let's zoom all the way out of Google Earth. Okay, here we are on the so-called outer space with Google Earth. We see the sun behind the Earth. And here we are. Huh? What happened to the moon? I don't see the moon. Why isn't the moon behind the Earth on Google Earth? It's because the Earth is flat and this is a fake image. You can see the sun, but I don't see the moon in the background. I know that something that big just doesn't disappear. And if you type real picture of Earth into Google, then you will find this. A picture of the moon with the Earth. Huh? How come it shows in this picture but not Google Earth? How come the moon doesn't appear in the background of Google Earth? If that was a real image, it's because it's fake. And now let's travel to Google Moon. Here we are on Google Moon. Okay, here we are. Now let's zoom around and see if we can find the Earth, which should be behind the moon. Okay, I don't see the Earth back there. How come it disappeared? This seems not real. It's because this is a fake image. It doesn't make sense how something this big as the Earth could just disappear. I know the moon is not just without the Earth. The Earth should be seen behind the moon if this was a real picture. How could the Earth just turn visible? It doesn't make sense. You can see the sun and you can see the stars, but I don't see the Earth anywhere. How come the Earth's not behind the moon if this was a real picture? Because I know something that big just doesn't disappear. They claim this is a real picture taken by a satellite, but I don't see the Earth behind it. Because it's fake. And also, you can see stars in the background of Google Earth, but different pictures of the Earth, they show you there are no stars in the background. Now, why don't we travel to one of Jupiter's moons with this new Google thing? Now it lets you allegedly travel to other planets and other planets' moons on Google. Okay, so why don't we go to one of Jupiter's moons? Just click this. Okay, now we're going to one of Jupiter's moons. Okay, this is what they say is one of Jupiter's moons. Okay, I see the sun in the background, I see its stars in the background, but what? Why is Jupiter not in the background? Huh? I know something that big just doesn't disappear. They claim Jupiter's gigantic. They claim this is orbiting Jupiter. But I don't see Jupiter in the background anywhere. No matter what side you tilt it, you won't see any planet. But you can see the sun, so obviously you should be able to see another planet, but you don't because this is fake. I don't see any planet behind it, and they claimed these moons are orbiting Jupiter. And if this picture shows a moon near Jupiter, how come you don't see in the background of the Google one? This one right here. I don't see any Jupiter, but I see the sun. And I see stars in the background. So all of a sudden Jupiter see-through, and now you can see stars through it. They turn visible somehow? Nope. It's all just made up. Now you can see the moon during the day because the Earth is flat. You can see it on the day side of the world because it's flat, and you can see all the distance to it. Now here's pictures from NASA, but they apparently showed the size of the countries or continents being different in different pictures. Well, how come the size changed? It's because it's fake. A hoax. And they claim the sky is blue because somehow particles go up in the atmosphere, but they don't know if they've never went up there and seen this happen. They don't even claim they have. Of course the sky is blue because it's really a heavenly realm. And I'll get into more of that later. But if this was true and the sky was blue because of this, how come the sky doesn't look blue from outer space? If there was this giant blue cloud, then how come you can't see it from outer space? And if there was a giant blue cloud covering the Earth somehow, how come you don't see it from outer space? And it would also block the view of the sun, and we wouldn't be able to see the sun if that was true. But it's not. The sun is really beneath the blue sky. And also, tides aren't caused by the moon's gravitational pull. It's really caused by something supernatural. But they claim it's caused by the moon's gravitational pull. But if this was true, how come the moon only pulls up oceans and not smaller bodies of water like ponds or water in cups? If it really did have the ability to pull water, it would pull not just the ocean, but other water like ponds too. And if they've only dug, if the deepest they've dug into the world is 8 miles deep, then how do they know it's magma at the bottom of the world? It's because they make it up. And how do they know there's more than one core of the Earth if they've never been to these cores? Like all these 3 or whatever. All of these. How do they know it's more than one core if they've only dug 8 miles deep when they say it's something like 1,000 miles deep or thousands of miles deep? This is the true map of the world, not the fake map that they show us. This was made sometime around 1,000 years ago or older by some guy named Alberoni. But they claim that they know the Earth is round because Christopher Columbus sailed around the world. Or people can fly around the world, but of course, they're not really going around it, they're really going in circles around it like this. Really just flying circles or sailing circles around it. So that disproves their idea of it. So then what is this reason why they want it hidden from us? I'll get into that more. It's really because they want us to believe in spiritual beings and to try to hide the existence of supernatural beings and this, because the ancient cultures and mythologies and religions teach that the world was flat and that there was a heaven above the earth, which was the sky. All these ancient religions and mythologies are really real, and all the beings in them are real. They taught that there was a giant ocean beneath the world. If you fall off the edge of the world, you'll end up in a huge ocean. There's also ocean in our world, and they also taught that the sky was blue because wattle was above it, and there was a dome that you can see through the dome. The sky was a dome, and you could see the wattles through it. There's wattles above Earth through a see-through dome. And above these wattles was the layers of the realms of the heavens, where spiritual beings existed. So this is really the truth. I'll get into this more later in my videos. And it's really, the reason they hide it is because they don't want us to believe in spiritual beings, which I'll get into more later in the future.